Two people observe a large bipedal creature under a security light. Year, 1978 SEASON. Summer State, Indiana County. Sullivan County location details. 1/2 mile north of the Glendora Road Lake Sullivan Causeway, near Sullivan, Sullivan County, Indiana, USA. Observed. In late summer, 1978, specific date is being researched. The sheriff telephoned me regarding a previous night report from a youth who related he and his girlfriend saw a Sasquatch. A deputy responded to the called-in report about 11 p.m. the evening before and took a short report but developed no further information. As much for curiosity as anything, I located the reporter of the incident and secured a tape-recorded statement. He related he and his girlfriend has returned to her home located on the east side of Lake Sullivan at about 11 o'clock p.m. and were talking. She's sitting on the car right fender and he embracing her. The car was parked facing west towards the rear yard, security light, low stock fence and bean field behind it. At the same time, both subjects observe a large biped animal-type creature appear under the overhanging outside light about 100 feet away. It initially was crouched over, then stood up, stared at the two observers, hesitated for a few seconds, then stepped over the fence and disappeared into the soybean field to the west. Horses in a field next to the lake to the west were heard spooked and running. The creature appeared to be 8 feet tall, covered with hair, eyes were distinctive. Next morning search of the bean field determined impressions in the dirt but were not distinctive. It had rained during the night. There was no further supporting evidence other than the girl's mother states the couple were very shook when they ran into the house to call the sheriff. I interviewed the youth 10 years later on a whim to determine if there was a different story or to perchance get a denial of the original report. To my surprise, he retold the account in precise detail as compared to the original. A separate report initially seeming to have no connection was reported to the sheriff the morning after from Hymera, a small town 8 or 9 miles northeast of the sighting location, regarding a rabbit hutch had been torn completely apart by perhaps a vandal. All rabbits were gone. The rabbit hutch site is directly through the country from the alleged Sasquatch sighting, connected with coal-stripped lands and creek bottoms that feed Lake Sullivan.
Occurred the 25th of September 2022, 21 hours 15 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Duggar, IN, USA. Location details: I witnessed at 2434 South County Road 900 East, Duggar, Indiana, 47848. I was looking west when sighted shape. Light duration: no of observers. 2 characteristics: lights on object, aircraft nearby. I saw a straight line of lights. They started moving counterclockwise, slowly rotating and slowly started disappearing. Looking west, saw a straight line of lights, slight green tint. Perfect line, then started rotating counterclockwise, slowly. With every turn it disappeared more and more, then right in front of the Big Dipper it disappeared.
Occurred the 30th of August 2013, 2 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Farmersburg, IN, USA. Shape, light duration: 2+ hours. No of observers. 1 characteristics: changed color. I saw an orange-yellow ball in the sky and then saw another identical ball seem to fly toward the object and disappeared into it. I am a night watchman at an abandoned coal mine just northeast of Farmersburg, IN, approximately 15 miles southeast of Terre Haute, Indiana. The yellow-orange object was first observed on the previous Saturday morning, August 24, 13, at approximately the same time of morning. I sit in a truck facing east and the object was in the sky and looked much like a star. However, it continued to hover vertically and horizontally. There is an airport not far away and I'm used to seeing airplanes and knew this could not be a plane due to its unusual movement. The craft drifted very slowly southward and occasionally would flash a brighter light. On Friday morning the 30th, as the craft continued to hover, another craft appeared much lower and north of the craft. It seemed to appear from nowhere. The second, lower craft was moving in the same manner as the original craft but slowly drifted towards the other craft, and when it was close enough to hit it, it disappeared, as if it had gone inside the other object. The other, main, object continued to drift southward and looked as if it were scanning the terrain, as if mapping the landscape. The area is remotely rural. After 2 hours, at 4:30 a.m., a landfill that is nearby began operations and turned on 2 very bright floodlights to light the hill. At that time, the craft seemed to be stationary, as if to imitate a star. It was brighter than any star in the sky. The star remained visible, even after sunrise, and eventually was the only star visible in the sky. At that point I ended my shift and went home. I did, however, call Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie during this sighting and relayed what I was seeing on the radio. In this location I have noticed at least 24 meteorites in the past 5 months at this location, all coming very close to me and all burning up approximately 10 feet from hitting the ground. I mention them just because I find it unusual and don't know if they're connected to the UFO or not. My location on a road map is south of Terre Haute on Highway 41 to State Road 246. I was approximately 2 miles east of Highway 41 and just half a mile north of Highway 246. The weather and sky was clear.
Occurred the 30th of March 2020, 14 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Shelburne, IN, USA. Shape: oval. Duration: 5 minutes. No of observers. 1 characteristics: aura or haze around object. Aircraft nearby while viewing my security monitor. Watching a floating orb in the sky. 2 black or dark flying objects appeared and began flying in perfect formation, close to the orb. I have all of it on video.
Occurred the 16th of November 1999, 19 hours 5 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Greenville, IN, USA. Shape: cigar. Duration: 30 seconds. No of observers. 1 characteristics: lights on object. Saw a long object like a pencil with alternating red and green lights moving across sky in an east to west direction for about 30 seconds. Same as above.
Occurred the 26th of June 2010, 0 hours 4 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Greenville, IN, USA. Shape: other. Duration: 3 minutes. No of observers. 1 characteristics: lights on object. 3-spoke UFO, blue and white lights, muted jet sound heard when floating directly overhead. 3-spoke design, Mercedes emblem without outside circle, white lights on end of each spoke end and in middle, blue lights between center white and spoke end. White light. White lights got brighter and dimmer as I approached, blue lights shut down except for 1 on each spoke near end. White lights. UFO floated over my stopped convertible, top down, and over trees out of my sight, turned car around and could not locate it again. Full moon, cloudless sky. UFO make hushed jet sound, could only hear it as it passed overhead.